Another symptom that is very commonly brought up is a sense of discomfort. Sometimes it kind of migrates. It's kind of a dull ache. It's almost like somebody's pressing you sometimes from different parts of the body. Sometimes it can be the left ankle, sometimes it can be the right wrist. It just kind of moves around. What is going on with it?
Well, what can be going on is that your body has a buildup of metabolites. And what are metabolites?
So metabolites are things that break down, such as from toxins and things that leak through your gut into your bloodstream. And now these metabolites that are not supposed to be there can go into your joints and cause aches and really not make you feel that well.
You know, what happens is that your body has an automatic excretion mechanisms. But in adrenal fatigue, the body, oftentimes in its attempt to slow down, will reduce the velocity of the excretion. So instead of going out of your body as a normal speed, it kind of slows. So when it slows, some of it is going to accumulate. And this accumulation gets circulated in the blood flow, and then wherever it goes, it can goes into the joints, it can cause inflammation, go to the brain, can cause brain fog, and contribute. And this is some of these very subtle symptoms that is the way the body is reminding you, okay, of a displeasure within. So what is the short-term solution?
So the short term is to really reduce your stress and to kind of get the metabolite load down.
Yeah, drink lots of water, keep yourself well hydrated, okay? That will help, okay? How about longer term?
Well, long term, if you're having issues with this metabolite overload, you need to decrease the amount of congestion that you're having, but you can't do it alone because sometimes it can be a very in depth process and slow process that you need to work on.
Yeah, so make sure you, and a lot of people make the common mistakes of going through a liver flushes, detoxification program that is almost too strong and then they can crash. So make sure you don't do that without a proper supervision, okay? Another set of common symptoms is a lightheaded when they stand up, especially if it's too fast. You know, that can also go along with a sense of breathlessness when they walk up a flight of steps, you know. It's not necessarily short of breath. The lung functions are perfect, you see what I'm saying? And there's no neurological issues, but they just kind of feel not very steady. What is this all about?
Well, your adrenals make the hormone aldosterone, which is important in your body's production or balancing of salt and free water. And so when your adrenals start to get tired and exhausted, the hormone aldosterone might not be up to the level that it needs to be. And therefore, you might have some salt cravings. You might feel more lightheaded when you stand up really too quickly. And that's the reason why.
And so some short-term things that you can do is to first take some salt boluses in the morning to kind of get your salt level balanced. Another option is to just drink more water throughout the day. However, the long-term resolution is to really restore adrenal health.
Yeah, now you have to be very important. Sometimes you don't want to over drink too much water because it can actually dilute your salt too much and you can get a little even worse. At the same time, you also want to make sure you have something to hold on. And if you have to rise from a laying down position, then go from laying down to sitting first, and then let your body kind of adapt itself before you stand up. But long term, you're right. You know, this is, again, one of these symptoms of whispers that the body is trying to tell you. So it's not necessarily bad in the sense that it is to be eradicated with at all costs. You want to help the adrenals to recover, and you use this as a monitoring. In other words, as your adrenals recover, actually the frequency of these happenings will reduce.
That's right. Up next.
Is the inability to remember things. This is not the same as the loss of long or short-term memory on a permanent basis, but it's almost like you sometimes have a vivid recall, but sometimes it kind of foggy. You're not very clear. We call this a brain fog phenomenon. Dr. Carey, tell us what it's about.
Well, brain fog can happen when you have a hormonal imbalance. Some people have heavy metals or environmental issues where they're unable to detox very well. Some people just feel like they have a very hard time concentrating. And so word finding actually becomes really hard for them.
Yeah, that's right. And oftentimes it is from your body's detoxification system not being able to kick in and perform optimally. So, in your brain fog may actually last a long period of time.
Now, usually a brain fog tend to go away by itself. Now, if you have it that kind of sticks around, then you have to slow down and ask, what am I doing that is causing these metabolites or detoxification issues to be dysregulated? So this is where we have to focus our attention. So short term, the very common things are sugar, dairy products, corn, wheat, and gluten sensitivities. These are the common things that will trigger a brain fog. But long term, what is it we have to do?
So long term, we have to focus on our adrenal and to also focus on our detoxification circuit and make sure that your liver is not congested, your extracellular matrix is not congested, so then your body is able to get rid of these toxic metabolites.
Yeah. Now, I also have to warn you in the sense that while this concept of detoxification is very popular, many people get into trouble because they don't know how to do it or they do it inappropriately, and that can trigger adrenal crashes very quickly. Because if you detoxify too quickly and your body's unable to handle it, then you can lead to a detoxification reaction. So it's not just about detoxifying the body, it's really about a holistic approach of how to help the adrenals rebalance itself. Because when the adrenals do that, not only is the system able to detoxify, it also is able to support. So it's a combination. It's not just getting rid of stuff so simple. You have to replenish with good stuff as well in this whole recovery process.